Filters are enabled. Our filters are not working. What? Oh, they are. Well, off to a great start already. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday Build Show. I'm your host, Ben Estrino, over here at the Empower Studio. Today we are building a few beasts of PCs. Welcome to the Mega Build-A-Thon. So come on in, hang out, have a good time. Remember to ask all the questions. And remember, if you do like this kind of nerdy stuff, please make sure you give us a like or a follow and share. It seriously helps us grow. So today's build lineup, we've got starting off is John's PC. John is a buddy of mine. So we're going to be doing some quick upgrades for his system, which includes a CPU, RAM, storage, power supply, and cooler for the new CPU. So we're going to be doing a overhaul on this system here that we have in front of us that we already have built. This one was built by me a little while ago. I actually built his original system a long time ago, and then he recently upgraded to this case with a better graphics card, and we did a little bit of other cool stuff to it, but he's just not satisfied with the performance. He needs more power. So we're going to be doing some additional upgrades for his system. And then number 2 on the list, we're going to be doing that military ammo box build finally for Steve today. Still not satisfied with the paint job, but I'm just going to do the build and finish up the paint on one of the panels that I still have remaining. But outside of that, we can still put the build together. Steve was looking for a pretty small build that he can move around and still have some performance for some rendering. And then, you know, we wanted to get creative with it, so we painted it and made it look like an ammo box. And it's built into a really small ITX Leon Lee case, so it's pretty cool. Number 3 on the list for today is a massive Intel i9 RTX 4090 build that we're going to be doing for a local customer who is going to be doing some gaming, streaming, and content creation on it. So super excited to put that build together for him. Number 4 is an inventory build that we for sure will be doing today. And 5 and 6 builds today we possibly will be doing, depending on if the parts actually show up today during the stream, which would be kind of cool. They're not supposed to be here until like 9 p.m. tonight, so you know, life. Plus there's going to be storms, so we'll see if we even have power to continue doing the stream. We'll find out. We might lose power, we might lose internet. Hey Weird Duck, what's up, man? How's it going? Going to get things done before the power? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, man. Number 3, good reference for me. For sure, man. Yeah, we've got a mega build-a-thon going today. So we've got all these builds that we got to do. Hopefully we'll try to get through as many as them that we can today. Hopefully we don't lose power or internet. Either one would suck. Power means no internet anyway, so... Debating I should go get my little one before this crap hits. Yeah, I know, we're keeping an eye on it. It looks like this first storm isn't going to be as bad, but I mean, lately our luck has been pretty crappy with the power. We've been losing power literally every storm. So yes, yeah, if it's bad. But the second wave is supposed to be worse. So I think this first wave isn't going to be as bad. Second wave going to be bad. We'll see how far we get. And hopefully you can pick up your little one before this crap hits. I highly recommend it. And if you're going in the car, throw us in there, put us on Bluetooth, listen. Anyway, So John's PC, this is what we built. We actually built his original system. What was it? 2018, 2019, something like that, and or it might have been 2020 with the 3600. So anyway, B450, 3600 AMD CPU. It's got 16 gigs of RAM, and recently he upgraded to this bigger case with plans to upgrade to a bigger, better CPU motherboard RAM combo with a bigger cooler. He also upgraded to a 3060 here, Ti, right? The 3060 Ti. And then we're still running on a 550 watt power supply. So we're gonna upgrade the motherboard, the CPU, the cooler, the RAM, the storage, and the power supply. Watching from your hospital room. Awesome, Steve. We're gonna be doing your build today after this one here. Finally. The paint has been a pain in the ass, Steve. The paint has been and I had to repaint your case like 3 times because I wasn't happy with the paint, how it turned out. So it was very difficult for something so simple. But we got it. So we're going to be doing that build after this one. All right, so to get started, I'm going to probably tear out these fans on the top because it's where the AIO cooler is going to be going. We're going to pull out the graphics card, pretty much tear this whole build apart. Let's just tear it apart. So let's switch it to a top down so you can get a little bit better view, so you don't have to look at my side. All right. So this guy is... we could start with the graphics card, get that out, and then we'll pull the motherboard, CPU RAM combo, and then we'll get to the fans and the power supply probably last. So to get started, let's get the graphics card out. Let's pull the power. And then probably a better idea to do this while it's standing up, but this will work. There we go. There's our RTX 3060 Ti that we're going to pull out. We're going to be reusing this in the build, so I'm not even going to bother removing it from the vertical bracket. We're going to keep it in that. And then the rest of it we're just going to pull apart. So pretty much everything's coming apart. Just unplug everything. Going at it. It's a lot easier to pull something apart than it is to put it together. We do have to go on the back side here and loosen up some of our cables from our cable management. And that's gonna be right here, I believe. Or no, it's these. I don't remember. One of these. I don't remember what this was for. I think that's because of the RGB debacle on this motherboard. So this wire management is so good that I'm having a fun time trying to locate everything. There it is. We got the top portion of this undone for the CPU cooler. That could just pull through. Like that. And we should be ready to pull this motherboard out. How's everybody doing today? Gonna stay dry. Hopefully dodge some tornadoes today. I'll keep us live even through the tornadoes. As long as we have internet, I'll stay live. Internet and power. We are going to be taking this, these parts and putting it back into his old case. He's planning on donating this case, or this, his old build, with all his old parts, to his nephew. It's kind of cool. So we will be rebuilding this. So I'm not going to go as far as taking out this cooler or anything, because we're just going to be reusing it anyway. Alright, motherboard has been surgically removed. Now let's move on to removing these top fans. I know they have one cable coming off of them. Here it is. Right here. Are we just doing some upgrades to this PC today? Weird Duck, yes. We are doing upgrades to this one. And then we're taking his old parts and building it into another, or his old case and old, so he could give his PC to his nephew. So there's a little bit more work than just upgrading. But, I mean, basically, when you think about it, we're pretty much doing a whole new PC. Because there's a lot of upgrades here. Motherboard, CPU, RAM, SSD. It's a major upgrade. I'm using way too big of a screwdriver for this. I'm just hoping to avoid hail. Yeah, I hear you, man. Hail is... We had some hail the other day. What was that, last week? That was pretty bad. It actually put little like indents on the paint of my cars. Wasn't too happy about that. You can buff them out, but there was like a million of them. It was like almost marble size hail the last storm we had. Hail sucks. Yeah, I know, man. It sucked. Oh. Hell yeah, it does. I actually thought of that one, but didn't use it. Didn't know if you guys were tired of my dad jokes yet. I think I'm going to be tired of standing after all these builds. Ooh, I hear thunder. Unless that's a truck. Parts arrived. Hold on a second. That's only some of the parts that we needed for more of the builds. All right. Fans have been released. Oh, shit. I mean, right. We might have to swap one of the fans off that cooler. Only because it's not going to be worth that unless I have a table for it. There you go. This is down? Yeah. Let me just run that. We're going to replace those anyway. I actually found you through the local dumpster fire Facebook chat room. I think I've been found in worse ways. The Lake Orion chat room. Yeah, that place is kind of interesting, to say the least. Alright, so let's remove this power supply neck. Oh boy. Someone has to throw dad jokes out there. Yeah, I know, man. Somebody's got to do it. Doesn't always have to be me, though. All right. Hey, John, you're going to be able to use your USB-C now. I forgot about that.
There we go.
We're moving from the B450 to a Z790, and it's got USB-C on it. It was a pretty positive review, and yeah, oh, okay. Maybe I'm not recalling which one it is. I have so many good positive reviews. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, yeah, I pretty much only have 5-star reviews. But I talk to so many different people nowadays. All right. Throwing all those old parts into a pile for the next PC build. Or next PC build. Alright, so now we have an empty shell, pretty much, minus the fans that are in here. So we're pretty ready to start working on the new motherboard, CPU, RAM, SSD, which is all right here in a nice stack. So let's get started. John was impatient and already tried to open his CPU because he just wanted to look at it, apparently. Ripped the box open. Couldn't wait. He wanted the power. We're gonna need that. So this motherboard is a Asus. This motherboard is an Asus Z90P Wi-Fi, the Prime motherboard. So it's your LGA 1700, supports DDR5, Intel XMP. It's a beautiful looking board too. Got really nice VRM heatsink on there for some passive cooling on the VRMs. M.2 heatsinks. A solid PCIe slot that we still are going to be going vertical with that GPU. The CPU we're going to be using today is an Intel i7 13700K, LGA 1700 unlocked. Show you the box before I throw it away. Unless John wants to keep it, I don't know. Hey, it was a positive review, and yeah? Okay. That's right. Oh gosh, I've never had it stuck like that before. The only downside to this is that John bought the parts, and the one thing that I didn't think of is an LGA socket contact plate. So we're gonna roll with this out without the contact plate. Normally I do a contact plate for the LGA 1700. Didn't think of that. It'll be alright. If we have to, we'll go back in there and put it in. I don't have one available. Alright, so the RAM is 32 gigabytes, DDR5, 6000 megahertz, CL36 by G-Skill. It's the Flare S5. The Flare S5 by G-Skill. The solid kit. This is the i7 13700K Asus Z790 motherboard and RAM combo from Micro Center. If anybody was interested, this is probably the cheapest way to get a motherboard, CPU, and RAM upgrade brand new from Micro Center. All right, so I'm going to set this aside and then get the case. Give it a quick blow. Got a little bit of dust in there. All right. Blow some of that dust out so we can put the new parts into a clean foam. I actually need this guy. Alright, and then we start mounting the board. Maybe. The only thing I didn't think of is the cooler. Damn it. I'm gonna get the mounting bracket on the motherboard before we do this. This is the Deepcool LS720. Actually, it's not the LS. We got the LS720 SE. What's that? Better. It's actually a little bit left. It's okay. We've got our bracket here. For Intel, that's what we need. I'm going to pull the motherboard back out so we can do this. It's AMD. Not gonna need that. But we need these. Not these ones. I need that. Don't need that. Alright, so LGA 1700 is the bigger version of the Intel bracket, so we're going to extend the studs out. Make sure our Intel logo is the right way up on the back here, on this plate. And then put these little stud looking things on there. Spacers. Support things. I don't know what they're called. Lay this bad boy back down and put this motherboard in. There we go. The only thing I forgot to do is the SSD. Jeez. Before I finish screwing this in, I gotta put this M.2 in. Whew! Getting hot in here. Putting this 2 terabyte M.2 Silicon Power UD90 in. The PCIe Gen 4. Gonna give them some pretty good speeds for gaming. And it's 2 terabytes of space. More than enough than he'll ever probably need. Forgot we have to remove the old storage, I believe, from his case. I think he has a hard drive in here. Maybe not. It was all M.2. If I built it, it was probably M.2. This thing doesn't like to line back up very well. You kind of have to like line up the screws when you put this back on. There we go, we got the M.2 in there that I forgot. It's been a busy, crazy day. Alright, so 5 more screws and the motherboard will finally be mounted. Good. Don't need that Wi-Fi adapter thing yet. Throw that over there. Alright, so motherboard, 24-pin power, already here. This is 8-pin for the GPU, the USB 3.0, which is going to connect up here, so I got to reroute this guy. We need to get our 8-pin and 4-pin for EPS CPU power in. The rest of this we can deal with down here, and I'd like to get as much done at the top as much as possible anyway, so that way when we put this AIO in, it's not going to be a crazy pain in the butt to deal with cables at the top of the board there. So this is a splitter that we're going to be using for the PWM fans on the AIO, so I'm just going to pre-route this and connect it, and then we're going to deal with some of the cable connections here. Case connections. USB 3 has to move. Flip it around. So USB 3 had to get up here. USB-C also had to get up there. So I can undo this zip tie that I have here. That way we could reroute these cables up here to the top. His older build, or his older motherboard, should I say, did not have USB-C, had USB 3.0, but did not have USB-C, so the USB-C cable was just down here, hanging out. Then we've got front panel audio, HD audio. I believe that's still down here on that case. Front panel power. I believe that is also down here on this case. Then we've got some RGB connections here and fan. I think those are down here still too on this board. We'll see. Front panel, power switch, perfect. USB-C, we're gonna have to reroute a little bit here. USB 3, a little bit below that. There we go. Oh yeah. This thing's gonna look badass. It's gonna perform really nicely for him now too. No more bottleneck from that CPU and motherboard. So RGB is over here. Move that one. But this one I should be able to go here. No problemo. I don't know how we're gonna do that. I guess we could just run it to this.
What are we missing?
What?
Are we missing pipe?
No. Not missing anything. I'm just trying to figure out how to connect this, the best way to connect this.
Something earlier about missing something.
No.
But pick something else.
Oh, that was an LGA 1700 contact plate. And that's what I built any of my LGA 1700s. I use a contact plate. These are $10 on Amazon. Completely forgot about it. It's not your fault. It just helps with the contact between the CPU and the cooler.
Is that going to be a problem?
Nah, it'll be fine. You can always go back and put it in later if it's a problem. But I don't think it's going to be for what you're doing. You can always go back in later and put it in. I just don't have an available one here. All of them are for these builds. So, is what it is. Thermalright LGA 1700 contact plate. Yeah, man. Right?
LG1700?
Yep.
Retrofit kit.
Is it the $10 one?
No, it's 72.
That's not right.
Oh, Intel's 1213th generation LGA73. Type any button. Actually, look at
I'm not worried. Okay. This guy's gonna have to come down here. I think the biggest chore is rerouting half these cables from for the old board to the new board. That's probably the biggest chore in this process. Because not all the connections are in the same spot as the old motherboard. I don't know that we're going to need this. Oh. Probably going to use it for the other build. Pull that. Don't think we're going to use it. Okay. So, we get all the connections where they should be now. Just got to plug this in. Oh, we'll go with 3. And we'll have to zip tie some of this up when we get to it. So the next thing I want to do is put the power supply in and get the EPS cables plugged in, or at least have the cables ran. But I think I'm just going to put the power supply in at this point. Not a big deal. It's a backdoor entry. So modular is kind of a little bit of a pain. So I'll just put all the cables on there and slide the power supply in from the back door. I don't remember adding this song to the list. Kind of cool. power supply tester, power cord, power supply screws. Comes with some cable ties. All fun. Fun.
Playing with that plate though?
The plate?
Yeah.
It helps keep the surface of the CPU flat so that it's better contact to the cooler. Better contact means better cooling. So the power supply we're using here today is a Sagittep GM 850 watt, 850 watt, 80 plus gold, fully modular ATX 3.0 PCIe 5.0 power supply. He doesn't need the ATX 3.0 or 5.0 yet, but if he upgraded to a bigger card like the 4000 series, he would be able to take advantage of that ATX, PCIe 5.0 cable, which is a 600 watt cable for the graphics card. And with that cable and design, you want to minimize as many failure points as possible. So a direct connection from the power supply to the graphics card is the best way to do that. So I've been trying to push people to these power supplies to better set them up for future upgrades. Not this particular power supply, but any power supply with PCIe 5.0 that is a reputable brand. And I use these ones a lot. And I like them. And you really can't beat the price right now. So even though this is a fully modular power supply, I am going to plug in all of the cables, so that way when John comes to me next year for more upgrades, the cables are going to be there and they're not missing. I don't know where my cables are, man. Misplaced them. No, John's not a guy that misplaces them, but just a practice I do for all customers. I've had that scenario too many times. Twist ties. Twist ties, twist ties. Got enough twist ties here. I don't know, to make a boat. Too close to Canada.
Basically building a whole new piece.
Pretty much.
Pretty much for the case. Basically just already
Case and the fans. That's about it.
Pretty much everything else is
And the graphics card.
basically a brand new piece.
Pretty much.
Well, got into the whole. If you upgrade this, and you upgrade that,
Yeah.
and now modeling your performance.
Yeah.
So now you need to get this. It's like, well,
John went down the dark, scary path of upgrades. Was like, well, if I upgrade this, then I need to upgrade that. And then if I upgrade this, then I need to upgrade that. Next thing you know, he had basically a brand new PC.
so now hopefully I can get by and maybe I can.
Yeah, now you can.
Because the previous build was
You're just on too old of a generation.
cheap. It was not cheap, but you know, cheaper.
Yeah.
And
When we built it, it made sense.
it was a budget PC.
It was. Now we have a big boy PC. So I'll reach my hand from the back door through the case and pull these cables through. And slide the power supply in and screw it in. There we go. Power supply installed. Now we just need EPS cables. That was the whole reason why we did this first. Need a couple of EPS cables. 1, 2. 1 EPS, 2 EPS. This is your CPU power. Oh. One's a 4-pin, the other one's 8-pin, so I'll have to split this one. No big deal. There we go. Now, let's get this AIO cooler in here. So I'll leave this actually standing up. I'll start working on the fans on the cooler. So the cooler we're going to be mounting like this with the hoses on the front side of the case. So we're going to make sure that the cables are on this side of the cooler, which when we rotate, it is now facing me. That way the fans are facing the back of the case where we can hide them. More twist ties. All right. Mount these. Screws. What's that?
No, I got it.
Didn't know you did either. It's not junky. It's just not the LS. It's LSSE. You bought the cheaper one. It's okay.
Pretty sure he does something. Buying it.
No, it'll be fine.
If they have 1-star review, they're like, go buy this. It's cheap.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the cables don't match up with the fans that you already had in there. So it's different. That's really the biggest deal for me. Building it, and then the
LS, would they match up?
yes,
Yeah. Awesome. It's the same
cheaper
thing.
fans. It's not. They're cheaper fans, and radiator is actually a little bit thinner.
Just put the other fan back
It's all good.
in. Should you be
I could have, but that's alright. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, John. Just forget about it. I shouldn't have said anything.
No, you're making me hurry.
It's just I thought I linked to the one.
That,
I thought I linked to the right one. And then you did your little shopping thing and it was like, oh, this one's cheaper.
well, send me the original one. Yeah,
Oh, the thermal right one?
thermal right one, and then I went to the deep pool,
Ah,
and then I think I sent you a picture. of what-
huh.
I think I still have the message.
It's okay. I fucked up. Then, okay? Yeah, I don't know why they made the SE. It's not a bad cooler. It's just they have slightly cheaper fans and a different way of connecting. So if you already have FC120 fans in your build, then you want the LS720 without the SE because they connect to those fans very easily. They use the same connection type. This one uses your standard addressable RGB connections.
I do eventually want to get one of the nice AI.
Holy crap, it's raining. Lots of rain coming down, boys.
I'd like to get one that's nice AI.
Nah, this will be fine.
Now, what one did the has the temperature gauge?
You can buy a like $30 part.
Oh, is it the one that attaches to it?
No, it's yeah. You could attach it anywhere on the case. Actually, you can even put one on the outside of the case if you wanted to.
It tells you your CPU temp and all that stuff. Is there like a
HW monitor, the software.
But is there a like screen you can put up on your PC that runs all the time that will show you what's going on?
You could put one in your PC.
No, I mean like on your screen.
Oh yeah.
That's like up at the corner. Sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you could do that.
Because I want to make sure that it's, you know, if something is overheating,
yeah,
I need to know right away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's overheating, it's gonna shut down for you.
Is it automatically?
Yeah.
See, that's things I didn't know.
It will automatically shut down to protect itself. I guess we'll just run it that way.
So if like the pump breaks on that?
Yeah, you should get a pump warning too. If the pump stops working, it should shut down and boot to a BIOS screen that says warning, pump not detected.
Things with those that goes and
yeah. But I mean, you have a warranty on this, so deep cool. You can always cash in on your warranty. Yeah. Or just upgrade. Yeah. I don't think this is going to die in the next 3 or 4 years.
How long?
Yeah, they're about 3 to 5 years, depending on the quality of the pump.
Deepcool's a pretty good brand, though.
Yeah, Deepcool's been around for a while, and I've been using Deepcool stuff for a long time. I love it. I've been recommending it for a while. Alright, getting this radiator mounted. Outside? Oh. Yep, 75, went to, yeah, outside. Yeah. I know the rain was going crazy just a second ago. I think it slowed down a little bit.
But yeah, also that's just the beginning.
Yeah, this is only the first wave. Thunder's thundering out there like crazy.
Ooh, Detroit's getting hit hard. Detroit's got a nice red band.
Wow.
Over top of it.
I don't really care that much about Detroit anyway.
Nah, not me. Oh. Is that hard here?
No?
No. There, it actually, there's a little orange patch in both versions. That's it. That's a lot less than what we were.
Well, knowing our track record lately, we have been losing power like crazy. So, can't guarantee.
But like I said, there was a slight gust of wind down where I live. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. It doesn't take
doesn't take much here these days either.
Wish I would have just done this when I bought that piece.
Oh, the upgrades?
Yeah.
That's alright. That's the beauty of PCs, you can upgrade slowly. Come on. Work for daddy.
See, it's fun. Maintenance friendly PC or a laptop.
Really?
They just showed it off.
Maintenance friendly laptop from Windows?
They showed it
I actually didn't see that.
Their showcase, whatever they do, you know.
Oh, the Ignite?
They open it up and you can pop the top off and it shows all the internal components.
Huh.
If only it's like the first maintenance friendly laptop.
Yeah, okay. There's no laptop that's maintenance friendly.
There's a certain kind of brand.
That doesn't exist.
There's a certain brand too that they said that had 0 out of 10 star or 0 out of 10 for maintenance, like friendliness.
All right, so we're gonna pop this plastic and wipe down this thermal paste.
According to YouTube, make sure you peel off the plastic. That's a big thing that people don't do.
There's no plastic on this one.
Or the one with the little sticky seal that they put on the.
Yeah, but this one doesn't have it. It's got this little plastic cover instead.
That's the thing. All those videos I've always seen of it. Like,
yeah.
make sure you peel this off because.
You have no idea how many people I've had come in with builds that they built and said, hey, I don't know why, I just built my PC and it's overheating. I pull the cooler off the CPU and there's the plastic still on the copper block.
It says peel here.
Yes, it says peel here. I'm like, this is why it's not working. Oops! I need a paper towel. Wiping this thermal paste that came with the cooler off the block. Like I always say, this stuff is probably not bad. We just use thermal grizzly here. Fancy stuff. You know, the top shelf paste. I hate pre-applied paste because it just stays on there. Yeah. And then you get it all over your fingers.
That's what I get for getting SE.
I think the LS has the same thing.
What if it didn't?
It does. Wipe it on my shorts, it's okay. My wife likes cleaning thermal paste out of my shorts.
Let's see. Like I said, it's a deal for it. It's ironic.
It is. Very ironic. Alright, thermal grizzly, here we go. Grizzling it up. Oh yeah. Yo. X marks the spot. I probably should have waited to put that on. So now I gotta put these on. So we want... Oh, thank God I peeled that. We want these... Yeah, they keep going like that. I need these. Hello. This is not working the way I thought it would. This is not how I envisioned this. I just need one. One. Thank you. Whew. That thunder looked or sounds crazy out there right now. All right, so there we go. We are ready to put this on the CPU. We're going to block it like so. And then use these little thumb nuts with a Phillips. Start all 4 of these. Drop that one. Fail. You hear the boom? The thunder? Yeah, I hear it. It scared you? Oh, Bop's in the bathroom, I think, with the cat.
I think they give you a pressure plate. You know what I mean?
Well, it has a stock one. It's just, you could do better with the thermal contact
So
plate.
you had to use the stock one?
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah, it's just, I know we could do better, that's all. I'm a Maximus.
I thought we didn't have anything at all.
No, the stock plate or brackets are there.
Okay. You had me scared.
No. We wouldn't be doing the build. Alright. And then we just kind of tighten these down.
The other one?
That's AM4. It's a different socket.
Oh, so it wouldn't work?
It'd be different. Yeah, no worries.
The more I learn.
You're learning. We're teaching John. Alright, so this RGB cable for the block, I'm going to actually run to the top, I think. We could run it along the side, but I think to the top is going to be the best option here. Stuff it in there, and I'll pull it through later when I get it flipped back up right. And then our pump is right here, so this guy has to run to the top too. And we'll probably get a zip tie in here. Just clean that up a little bit. Couple zip ties actually, looks like we'll need a couple zip ties there. All right, so that's all done. RGB case fans or cooler fans. We're just gonna run this guy, and this guy. Oh, what's this guy doing? Forgot about these front case fans. Where'd it go? It just kind of vanished. Look at these right here. There. And then this RGB connection that we're trying to untangle will run right here. Daisy chain these. We lost it. It fell. Go. Alright, CPU radiator fans here that we're plugging in. And we'll just have to deal with the rest of that in a minute. Cable manage it. Then we have a couple of RGB connections here from the radiator as well. And again, we're going to daisy chain. And then we'll clean that up here in a minute. This guy I need a lid for because we don't want that touching anything. Perfect. And then we'll clean that up here in a little bit. These cables that run this way. One as well as this one. Put this SSD tray back in. Kind of holds those cables over there. All right. Still not a fan of that. Whatever. Put the graphics card in.
She pulls out this paper.
Almost.
Oh. Not as much as the what that was.
The riser cable's in, so now we can mount this card. Right, or riser.
Really good. Really good.
I don't know whose this is, John. Whose PC could this possibly be? All right. So now we just need to do some cable management. Plug the power supplies in on the back side. Then we can fire it up and see if it's alive after such a great operation. I hope so too.
Orders from popping up.
Is that what it was?
I'm talking to leave. I feel like it is. Stay at the damn pop. But no, it does it where you, if you got prolonged braking,
Yeah.
and then you speed up like heavy traffic, and you speed up afterwards. It feels like it's struggling to get up to speed, like it's.
It might be.
I think it is a lock.
That's more of a caliper problem than anything.
Oh boy. Hey.
That's a lot of water. Somebody was like, hey, let's dump Lake Michigan on Michigan. Or would it be, where'd this come from?
You're right.
Okay, I was right.
You're right.
Another dad joke. Brought to you in part by yours truly. It's looking better, John. It's looking better.
Almost looks like a new computer.
Almost. Alright, so let's deal with all this crap. We still haven't lost power yet, so that's a bonus. Trying to stay on the bright side of things right now. Whoa. That one was loud. What? The thunder? I know, and the rain. Oh my goodness. There's so much of it. It's a whole lake. Whew.
Superman Senior 99. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going over there? Yeah, we're just building tons of PCs today. Tons and tons and tons. Hopefully we don't lose power. I'm hyped. Just received my motherboard from Amazon and it looks amazing. Nice. So what's happened here is, I don't know. Like, still. Don't be beach. Well, motherboard, you got a Strix Z690. Nice. Yeah, those are pretty looking boards. The ROG Strix. Nice. Yeah, those are cool looking boards. I like them.
No. Down in our
They're down. They were down with the AMD stuff because yeah, this AMD was having issues. Asus had the majority of the issues with their BIOS. It was burning out chips. But that has been sorted. No.
that does some damage to your custom page though too.
Yeah. There were a lot of pissed off people for that. Because they were actually saying that they weren't going to honor the warranty on one of the BIOS updates. And that was the wrong thing to say. I did a quick inspection and nearly had a heart attack because I thought one of the pins were bent. But it was just a single angle, or just the angle that you were looking at it. Nice. John, who is actually here, I'm working on his build right now. He can't wait for it to be done. So he's here watching, but he's physically here. He went and picked up these parts from Micro Center directly, and one of Micro Center's policies is to actually check the pins on Intel and AMD socketed or pin socket motherboards, and that is because even though it's brand new, it can happen. And John had it happen to him. The guy opened it up, pulled the open up the LGA socket, and there were bent pins on a brand new board. So I don't know how it happens, I don't know why it happens, but it happens, and it's pretty rare though. So it can happen.
Like the get it straight from the store, so it's checked before I get it.
Yeah,
Instead of ordering it like online.
I order them online, but if I have a problem with one of them, I can send them back very easily, whereas most consumers can't, because they will say that it was physically damaged by the consumer, and they give you all sorts of problems with it. Amazon, though, they're pretty easy. I don't even think they track serial numbers. Because I just sell so many products. I don't think they even bother to track that. Alright, I need one SATA for this. Then I need one more SATA for this guy. That's Molex. What am I doing? These are just extra cables for future upgrades. I don't blame you. Rain kind of sucks. I was looking from the side and froze for a second, but then I changed the angles and it looked all good. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see unless you have a microscope if there is an imperfection. Hard to identify sometimes. But most of the time you can see if it's a bent pin with the naked eye. One more zip tie, I think. Maybe two. I don't want that one hanging out in there. If I can avoid it. And there we go. Some cable management for Johnny. So he's got a nice clean looking PC. And this is the final result. Nice and clean. Can barely see any of those cables, you know? Fancy. Alright, so last thing we gotta do is fire it up and make sure it posts. That looks amazing. Thank you, thank you. I know. So let's clean this up a little bit here, our little work area. We got more builds to do today. We ain't done yet. We're pretty much going to be here all night. Yeah. I'm just collecting these screws because we're going to be using them in the other build for him. All the old parts are going to go into the build for his nephew. There with those parts.
Yes, it is, but it's not the
What's that?
720.
Is that the LS720 from Deep Cool? It is the LS, yes, it's the LS720, but it's actually the LS720 SE.
Got the wrong one.
So, a little bit cheaper version of it. Same thing though. The downside is that you have different connection types on the fans. And I think it's got a different pump. But it's fine. It will do the job. Alright, so let's plug this bad boy and fire it up and see if it posts. And then we'll move it over to the bench, the other bench, and we can start windows and all that stuff.
Didn't want that one.
What's that?
I wanted the Kraken Elite XD. That's all that thing was. It was just maybe next time I'll get it.
Oh.
But it looked really nice, and was obviously
Expensive.
it's expensive. Yeah, it's expensive brand, but I'll get it next time.
All right, let's switch views. Oh, you splurged and got the Kraken Elite. Oh. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Kraken.
Saw that, but I saw the price.
All right, let's see what it looks like here. In a 3, a 2, a 1. Yeah, I did something right. All the fans are spinning this time.
Oh, yeah, that's better. I kind of like the motherboard as a light up. I like how, I don't know, the motherboard lighting up always kind of annoyed me.
It's pretty.
Just the...
Do we have a post? It's RAM training. It's got a cycle. No, you can't hear it because of the rain. There's so much rain going on outside.
You just gotta have the rain going all the time, and you'll never hear your piece.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn the gain down. It's picking up the music in the background. Oh, did we get a post? It's DDR5, so it does take an extra 30 plus seconds to train the RAM memory. I also could have an issue with the capture card, so that may not be working. Because I got a light on the keyboard. Oh, maybe? Maybe? Switch to bypass the capture card. And then we'll reboot it. Is this Intel or AMD? This is an Intel i7-13700K on a Z590 Prime motherboard. And this is an RTX 3060 Ti from, this was a part they already had. So we upgraded him from a B450 AMD Ryzen 5 3600 with 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM to Intel i7-13700K 32 gigs DDR5 6000 megahertz, which is the G-Skill S5 or Flare S5 Ripjaws, and then the Z790 and an 850 watt power supply for his future graphics card upgrade. So kind of an upgrade, a little bit. And he can use his USB-C now on his case. And then we also upgraded the cooler from a Tower air cooler by Thermaltake to a Deepcool LS720 SE. I hear it ticking. Alright, so we do got a post. I don't have the capture card working at the moment. For some reason it doesn't want to display the screen. But we got a post. So that's a win. So we're gonna be done with this, building this PC. Oh, you got a 4080 and a 12700K. Nice. Make sure you check out the Micro Center deals. You might be able to squeeze in a 13700K with a motherboard CPU RAM combo for almost the same price. Just take a look at it. I don't know if you have a Micro Center nearby you or not. And I am going to shut this guy down, move it over to the other bench, and we're going to start on the next build. Are we doing Windows 10 or 11? Yeah, it'll run 11. No. Okay.
I mean, is there a time?
No.
Used to it.
It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff is different, like where the start menu is, but everything else is pretty much the same.
I love that I can find my
Shut her down. Move her to the next bench, and then we'll get the next build going.
Was there a ticking sound you said you heard? Yeah, I think we're gonna start.
Why that's that?
It was you had to open it up to kind of take it down. And at least
You haven't gotten them yet, but you plan on it? Nice. The closet, or the closest Micro Center is Chicago. Dang. How far away is that for you? What on earth? We want to push buttons. Mute the mic, unmute the mic. Push the button. Just wait. Okay. Push button. All right. I gotta go back to work.
Boom.
I hear the boom. It's crazy. Lots of thunder. Your mom. No. You don't need any Coke. No. You don't need any Coke. One sip. Okay, back at it. I was thinking about painting this handle, and I think we're just going to put it on there silver anyway. Because it's just going to wear out. Thinking about it, not thinking about it, thinking about it, not thinking about it. It's just going to wear out. We already know. I knew where half these screws went. I just don't remember. What? Coke? No more Coke. No more Coke. Oh. Sorry. There we go. So we got the two screws in, which is going to kind of hold it in place for us as we do the rest of them. Actually, doing it, girl. Uh-oh. Okay, so that's what this goes to. Another piece to the puzzle. More puzzle. Doing that. A little correction. Is that not the right? Nice. Hey, that's a cool. The case looks cool, so small. Yeah, it's an ITX case. Also, thanks for the router advice, Ben. We haven't yet gotten a new one. My mom and I are starting to look at a few. Awesome. Yeah, let me know if you need any help with that. We can put together a plan of what to get and all that, so it makes it easy. Yeah, this is an ITX case with a custom paint job. It's supposed to look like an ammo case when we're done with it. Almost there. Just putting the hardware back on it. Running into some weird issues with the screw-in. Not lined up perfectly. Just needed a little bit of mustard. Now it's lined up. you know, a collapsible little handle for the top. And what else is next? I guess we have this PWM fan splitter here. That used to be right about here. At least I think it was there. Pretend it was. Let's see. I guess we could put the studs in and start with the motherboard, CPU, and RAM. And the cooler. Get that put in there. Yeah. So exciting right now. I need to push buttons. Just focused on this. DDR5 timing is so slow. To boot. Slow to boot. What's going in this anyways? We have a Intel i7 12700KF 2 terabyte M.2 Gen 4 with a 32 gigabyte set of DDR5 6000 megahertz. This is actually the same kit we just used in the last build we did on the stream earlier. And you get an LGA 1700 bracket with a ROG Strix B760i gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. Very small motherboard. A couple of low profile, thin 120mm fans that we're going to be using with a small form factor SFX 850 watt gold power supply. And a Peerless Assassin 120 SE addressable RGB tower air cooler with 6 heat pipes and 2 120mm fans that I'm hoping fits in this case. Then I've got a couple other addressable RGB fans that we should be able to fit in here as well. With the thin fans, I wanted to put down here underneath the underneath the GPU, so it makes sure that we get some airflow in. But it was important to have thin fans because the graphics card is going to be there, and I don't want it obviously rubbing up right on top of the card. So thin profile. So we've got the case pretty much prepped after it was painted, so we can actually start on the motherboard, CPU, and RAM, and the cooler. Set these aside when I need those. But it's such a small build, I could just keep all the parts up here. The ITX size. So this motherboard, the B760i, is an ITX board, very small. This is it. Super small versus your ATX or even micro ATX motherboards. Tiny. Teeny tiny. Okay. So that is the build we're doing. So I'm going to start by mounting this, or socketing this i7-12700KF. I'm not going to close it up because we do have an LGA 1700 contact plate that we're going to be replacing those with, which is just this little guy right here. But I do want to put the CPU in there to make sure that it doesn't bend any of the pins while we're working on it, or we accidentally bend any of the pins. The last thing I want to do. So, we have a little tool that'll undo these screws here. Important not to move the motherboard after you loosen these screws. You get a back plate on the back that we're going to screw back into once we remove this. It's loose on the back that these tie into. So here's our contact plate. This helps with cooling, keeps the surface of the CPU more level, and that creates better contact to the cooler, which makes better cooling. In an ITX case, you want to have as much little teeny tiny things that you can do to make this thing cool, because it runs hot. It doesn't have as much muscle to move airflow. Every little thing counts. It is very tiny. And the stock brackets get shipped with the PC, so this will be sent with the PC. So if we ever need them, he has them. Alright, let's do some quick peels. Looks like we have a couple of them. That's a sticker. Jazzy. And that's 32 gigabytes of DDR4, 6000 megahertz that we're putting in there. That is the G-Skill S5 Ripjaws S5.
What's that going to take the DDR5?
This one's DDR5, yep.
Oh,
And we're going to remove this heatsink.
Got two going in there.
Put the M.2 SSD in there, yeah.
Banning something that small and big all that.
Doing a Windows installation over here as well. There we go. This is installing. Yep. Yeah, I know you're itching. I feel it from here.
Not plain.
It won't take much. Start your downloads, go to bed, wake up, it's all done. Why is this being such a pain in the ass?
I download Elder Scrolls too.
Hmm?
Oh, punch the hole.
I'm gonna be streaming for a long time, honey. Yep.
It's on number 2.
Depends on when Amazon gets here.
Exactly.
Well, there's more that's supposed to show up.
Oh.
All right. So now we're ready for the cooler. And this is where my concern was, is this going to fit? I did the math when I was looking this up. It should fit, but it was very tight, like right on the line. If it doesn't fit, we'll have to get a different cooler, but I'm pretty certain it's going to fit. So I'm gonna put this on here and then put the cooler on just to make sure it's gonna clear the top of the case here. Just to make sure. This thing is it's a beefy 2-layer, not burrito, but it's a 2-layer, 2-stack, 6 copper heat pipe cooler, and it is going to fit. My math was right. So we're in good shape. So with that being said, I'm going to take a quick break because I need my nicotine at this point. And we're on build number 2 of possibly 6 today. So we're going to keep streaming, but I'm going to take a quick break. So I need to freshen up, hit the bathroom, you know, do all that stuff real quick. So I will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Hey Rodney, sorry about that. I was on a little bit of a break there. Finally got in around to subscribing. Hey, what's up? Hey, thanks for that sub, sir. Hope you've been well, my friend. Yeah, I've been good, man. Sorry, it's just way because we're doing multiple builds today, and I just needed a break. Yeah, everything's been good. I hope you're doing good too, man. So anyway, back to it. We're going to mount this cooler on this board. So we need some of the mounting pieces here. Absolutely watching a master at work. Well, thank you. We're just slowly going through this here. So I'm just getting the bracket ready here for the cooler. Because it's LGA 1700, so I just need to make sure I'm putting these on the right way. Or it's not going to line up. 1700... They face the inside, like so. This is a super small ITX build with a i7 12700KF, 32 gigabytes of DDR5, 6000 megahertz. I think I went with a 2 terabyte M.2 Gen 4, 850 watt small form factor power supply, RTX 3060 power air cooler in a Lian Li ITX case. So it's a super small build. Supposed to look like an ammo crate when we're done with it. Is it an ammo crate or is it a PC? Yo, yeet! Okay. So now we're ready for our thermal grizzly paste. Peel that off so we don't get that. And then we slap this cooler on there and get the fans on. We did use the LGA 1700 Thermalrite contact plate. So the LGA 1700 contact plate helps with keeping the CPU level for the cooler. You know, I kind of want this the other way, actually. I'm just now thinking of this. That's dumb. This was a dumb mistake. I didn't think of this. Should have thought of this. But I want these brackets up and down so that the cooler faces the other way so that the hot air gets exhausted out the back. I gotta rotate these real quick. Tired. Been an extremely busy week. What CPU is this? This is the Intel i7 12700KF. And this ITX motherboard is actually a ROG Strix B760. So very upgradable. It's DDR5, running at 6000 megahertz, 32 gigs, and a 2 terabyte M.2 Gen 4 SSD in there. So we packed pretty much everything we could on this thing. Usually you do that in ITX builds. Try to go as much as you can. And of course we had a budget, so we had to stay within the budget. And we're going air cooled because the case that we selected doesn't really support radiators that well. And honestly, I think it's going to do better with this air cooler with the case design. The massive air cooler by Thermalrite. It's got 6 heat pipes and 2 PWM addressable RGB fans on it. I mean, the cooler is pretty much bigger than the motherboard itself. It's kind of funny looking, but it won't look as funny when it's in there. It'll look better. So how you doing today, Mr. Banana? Doing any type of like banana things? Actually, I want it. That. All right, one more fan to mount. And then we can put it in the case. And I'm going to put the splitter on real quick, make it easy access. Once we get it in there, it's going to be kind of tough to get my fingers down in there. Try to get as much as I can done. Shit. Before I put it in. One of these. And then we want to tackle that power supply cable if we can. And that's the EPS cable. GPU 600 watt. Two 600 watt cables. That's pretty cool. And I'm going to do the 24 pin. Pretty much the goal is to get as much done as you can before putting this sucker in the cape. 9.
The office.
I can get it. Bucks.
Ready to get this down?
Got it.
Can you do that?
Yeah. We've got all these cables minus this one done.
Pull it.
Oh yeah, it'll fit. It will fit. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. No, that's 27.
Yeah, because I had to, closest to this mine. I have to turn my
Yeah, I have a 32 over there on the wall. It's 1440p, 32 inch.
I would do it over again. I'd probably just get it. It is nice having it.
Yeah. What's happening? Going. Oh, and then it just magically worked. Get the screw down there. There we go. It's starting to come together. Ah, so tight. But not really. Alright, so now we gotta feed all these cables through the respective holes to the backside so we can deal with them on the backside. Run back in. Anyway, we'll play around with it. We'll figure it out. But that is pretty much the most pain in the butt spots. We have USB-C, USB 3, USB 2.0. Then we have our HD audio over here. We're going to try to sneak those in. This is our HD audio, which goes down here. Gonna slip underneath the graphics card, kind of sneak in there. And then we have a USB or front panel connection, USB 3 and USB-C somewhere in here. These we might have to take that fan off again. Again. Say it with such enthusiasm. Alright. Just gonna do it. Take it out. Not gonna screw around with it. Alright, we'll do the power button and the reset button first, which be powered here. Double check. Let's put this fan back on. Okay, so now we're going to install these bottom fans. These are the low profile thin fans. Super thin. I mean, if you look, they are paper thin. Super thin compared to, say, for example, a standard 120 millimeter fan. Much thinner. So, and that's because we're going to be putting them down here at the bottom, and the graphics card still has to slot in there. So we need as much space as we can get for the graphics card. So we went with thin, very thin fans. And number 2. Did I dump those somewhere? Or did I accidentally throw them out? Do. And we are gonna mount this fan and move on to the next fan. A lot of fans in a small case. Starting to look like a gaming PC. We're going to shove a fan here and shove a fan here. For the hell of it. Actually, it's going to really help with the airflow for the CPU. We got two of these. Standard 120 millimeter fans. I'm good. I'm really good at this. power supply time. Which again, I believe we're mounting like so. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. Probably not going to be. Because it wouldn't breathe. So it'd pretty much have to be that way. Almost there. Got a ton of cable management on this for being such a small computer. Ton of cables. I'm just gonna have to do some weird shit with this cable. Not much I could do. Nice. Okay, so we've got our 24 pin. This bad boy we're probably gonna hook up last because it's gonna be right there on the top and kind of block everything. So we'll probably hook that one up last. And get our UPS routed anyway. getting stuck behind it. It's just not going to reach this way. What can we do? Needs to go here. There's just not enough slack. Thing I can do. Send it back through, go through the main chamber, which is what I was trying to avoid. Or I could try to slip through here on the top. I don't think that's going to be enough either. So, top it is. We'll just have to tuck it in there nice and neat. Yeah, it is. Very small. Yeah. $150 watts. Alright, so let's get the card installed now. Gotta deal with this one little dinky cable that popped out of its little line. Get in there. That way it doesn't pop up and hit the CPU or GPU fans. Alright. The GPU fits. If it fits, it ships. Alright, and then we have one GPU cable. PCIe cable for this card. Need one. It's arguing about fitting. Need it to fit. Jeez. I think I'll just run it over the top of the cooler like this. I don't really want it in the way of the fan. I don't want to obstruct the airflow here. So I'm gonna try to tie it down there. Or just leave it like that, put the panel over the top. I don't know. One zip tie on the fin. Keep those cables out of the way of the fans. So the last thing we want is a cable hitting a fan or obstructing a fan. That's airflow. Already very tiny case. Okay, so last thing we got to do is button up the cables on the back side. We do have a PWM fan hub. So we could utilize that, though I think I can get away with what we have without using the hub. That would mean less cables if we got away without using the hub. So let's see what we can do. Oh my god! These are my CPU fans, which go to my CPU header here. Have these, so we can deal with this on the back side. Makes it a lot easier. Then we have an RGB splitter, all of our RGB items, and 2 PWM, the way of 4 fans. So what we're going to do is use these fans that have a daisy chain option here. Plug it into one here, and take one of the bottom ones that doesn't, and terminate the daisy chain. That way we won't need this hub. I'm just going to remove it. Don't need it. Save some cables. Same thing with this one. Got a daisy chain option here. Terminate that and plug the daisy chain into that PWM, oh shit, connection. Of course the pen pops out because it's not lined up. Bastard, get back in there. You said you can leave. You're all bent out of shape. Why does this type of shit happen to me? Armored crates, armored crates. So I think what I'll do is one on each. Start there. One.